And it stayed on the shelf the whole time.
It's always funny. Hey, guys, welcome to the WKN Podcast. We are on episode 2, episode season
Season 2.
Episode 17F, my life right now. This is what we do. Yep, we try to talk about
season 17, season 17, episode 2. Yes.
We could be like season 365, episode 1.
Yeah.
66, episode 1. Oh my gosh. But yeah.
That's how our whole weekend went.
Oh gosh. Cluster F. But it was the funnest cluster F ever. Anyway, these are your hosts.
That's
right. All right. These are our hosts. Let's go. Snappy
Thomas.
Stacy.
I thought I was a special guest too, since I've been here for 3 weeks, but I'm Dustin. Sorry.
I know, right? And Sylvia told you guys that I did not, unless he's AI, maybe I did murder him and he's buried in the back. I'm tired of digging stuff in the backyard, so it wasn't me. Anyway, our actual special guest is...
Hey.
Yeah, Ashley. So we're very happy to have you. I don't know how we keep convincing people to come on this dang thing. They must not watch, so they don't know what's happening.
Yeah. They don't know what they're getting themselves into.
No,
I know,
they really
they're like,
don't.
holy crap, why the heck do we do this? So, Ashley, we have had a crazy weekend. Did you have a good weekend?
No, I can't say that I broke any parts of my Jeeps or anything like that. It was pretty lazy. Josh's birthday's today, so we celebrate.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday, Josh.
He's
Josh?
around.
Hey, you guys should be doing
Who's
something
Josh?
fun instead of out here doing this.
Yeah. Sorry, Josh.
We worked, so we didn't get to do a whole lot, but we went to dinner, celebrated, put signs in the yard.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Cool.
Oh, I think that's actually. I think I saw that. Did you guys do the signs like a day or two ago?
Yeah. He came home from
posted
work
that.
and
What up, Josh?
Hey, Josh, happy birthday.
You can sit here and play. Yeah, you can hang out if you want. We don't care.
This is Monday.
he's camera shy.
This is Monday, so it'll.
Yes, so his birthday is Monday,
Friday,
even
so
though
his birthday
we're
was on
going
Monday.
on Friday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you go on the
everyone has
pod,
to do like a
say
belated.
happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
Yes, happy belated.
Good call.
I got
So did
you.
you guys do anything? Did you have any cheer events or anything going on?
No, she's in kind of the clinic season and
Off
practice
season.
season. Yeah, she's in the off
Mia.
season.
Hey.
Sweet girl.
And so
Hey.
we did a girls' day before we went out to dinner for Josh's birthday. Just kind of a lazy day.
We got our nails done and we set up some posters and balloons.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that's super awesome. You'll
That
have to
sounds
send
like
us a
fun.
picture of that. You have to send us a picture of that. We'll post it on here. That's awesome. Well, at least you had kind of a low-key weekend. I know I'm an ex-cheer mom, that you are just rolling into the craziness.
Yeah. She starts clinics next week, and then
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
the whole thing starts over again.
Yep. People used to always ask me, well, when is her off season? Dude, she has a week.
Yeah.
Like, she comes home from Disney and tryouts are next week. So there is no off season.
And how old
No
is
such
she?
thing.
What?
10.
10.
10. Yeah. So you got like at least 8 more years.
Yeah, thanks, Dustin.
Thanks for that, Dustin.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for.
Just starting.
All right, WKN kids, what did we get up to this weekend?
A lot.
Bending and breaking stuff.
Oh my gosh, like right?
Losing things. Thomas.
We won't get into that one, Stacy.
Thomas, Sylvia.
We won't
We're
get into that.
not gonna show that not that he was irresponsible. Just something irresponsible happened that he about lost his bananas over. But it's fine.
He about cried. I don't see my husband cry very often.
I wanted to cry for him.
But he about cried, didn't want to tell me. And we'll get to that later. But
Yeah.
that comes after your story. But we'll start with Friday. Everybody got to the campground safe. No issue.
Yeah. A little
Campground
later.
where, Stacy?
Hardwood to 4 guys with no
Four
problem.
guys to RV cop. Yeah, which was a really nice RV park. I felt
It
like
was.
they have really.
It is
I
really
mean,
nice.
even though we have a bathroom and stuff, they had really great shower areas.
Yeah.
They
it
even
was a
had
nice
laundry
clean park.
facility too. where you can
And
do
I did
laundry.
not realize that they had a restaurant there until Jen Wheat said to me, I
Yeah.
had no idea they even had a restaurant there, kind of like Callie's campground.
Yeah,
That was nice. The Toad's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was really
And
good.
then, yep. And then Scotty and David came and Dominic, and then they set up their tent, which I think that I have pictures of, but I was traumatized from that whole ordeal. I didn't know that tents, I'm just really rethinking Rubicon Trail right now. I didn't know tents didn't have like real tops. I didn't know they, do you tent camp, Ashley, ever?
Have, yes. No, they
It all
don't.
Okay, well, did
depends
you know that
on
their
the
tops are
tent
made
you
out of
get.
mesh?
Yeah.
Why would you make a tent out of
Okay.
mesh? Like,
Well, it has to.
Did they
it
not
has to
have the cover
They
over
did.
it?
Yeah,
they
They
did.
They did, yeah.
It does. It has the rain fly,
Yeah.
the rain cover. But Celia didn't realize that that's not a 2-piece. She thought it was a 1-piece. It's
Yeah,
not.
I didn't realize. So I was like, this is a bad idea. What happens if you get a hole in your rain flap and then I thought a rain flap was like extra, like an extra
Drip.
tarp to go over your other tarp. Yeah, it sounds like a fair bad plan.
No,
And
there's
they
some
got
that's
cold.
literally the whole thing is mesh minus the top.
No, those are those things you take to picnics.
You
You
can
don't
sleep in
sleep
those.
in them.
Yeah, you can.
Like
The
a
bears are
mosquito
going to
net.
get you.
She sounds like a
How
bougie
does-
camper.
Have you
I-
seen her camper?
No, I have not yet.
It's getting bougier by the time. We just bought a TV for it today for our bedroom. Because the one TV, I was like, we haven't even got to sit and watch our TV. We're going to put one in the bedroom so we can watch it. So, yeah, it's fine. But yeah, so they got that up, broke something while they did it. But anyways, we finally got to bed. Yeah.
Call a
Yeah,
ball.
finally got to bed. But it was a really nice big tent if the top was like different,
Yeah.
I guess.
No.
Anyway, but yeah,
it was a
They have
decent tent.
tents though that are not completely open. Just so
That's
you know.
a better idea. Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think I
pop
need
up,
air that
and
bad.
actually you can put them together in a lot less time.
Yeah.
But if you are dying of heat exhaustion in the inside because it doesn't breathe,
They should have them windows on the side. I feel like a zip window is smarter than.
They had windows on there. There was
Yeah,
zip
I
windows
know.
on his.
I was fine with that. I was not fine with the non.
but when
Closable
you're on the Rubicon
it's
Trail and
just,
there's absolutely no chance of rain, you're okay with this top being met
And especially in August.
in
Yeah.
August. Yeah.
Plus the
Yeah,
airflow
in
through,
August.
and plus you can see
Yeah.
the stars at night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting. But yeah, so
Celia's
then
like not having it.
not feeling
I'm
this.
not having it.
Anyway, so then we got to go wheeling with the Wheats on Saturday. We did the widows, and
All
only
day?
was there 15 of us? 15. There was
I think that was
15
right
of us.
after. I think that was about 15.
Yeah. And
that's all
it
we
took
did.
the whole day. Yeah. It
Two
had
trails.
rained and rained this last week, and I've never seen so much damn water in that park.
Well, technically, we did like 2 or 3 trails to get to the
Well, like
windows.
to get their
so-
trails, but any of the big trails, yeah.
If
But
they were easy.
yeah, so I think we did
it
like
was literally just
4.5.
a gravel road
It was like 4.5 miles, and how many hours? Like 8.
forever.
Yeah, it was a long time. Because then, of course, when you're like this, and also happened on day 2, so I apologize. But you're like this far away from getting out of the trails, and you're like, we're this far away from getting on the road to go home, and then someone breaks, and that break takes a long time to fix. So Maurice had lost his hydro assist steering.
Yep.
No, or his tie
No.
rod. So I don't know. His tires went bloop.
Yeah,
he
his tie
broke
rod.
a tie rod. Tie
Broke
rod
his
ends.
tie rod.
Yeah. So thankfully
He had a
an
replacement.
extra, so they had to hurry up and fix his tie rod so he could
He
get
said
out
it
of
was
there.
cheaper. It was cheaper to buy the complete set than it was to buy just the ends.
The ends, yeah.
Oh,
That's not
maybe.
surprising.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
just starting on Little Widowmaker, we had lots of body damage. On
Yes,
Little,
Scotty, poor Scotty. We'll have to get a picture of that.
Scotty did, the leader did. He almost
Uh,
slipped at the beginning.
Rolled over. Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
it
I
was
feel
a
like we made
weekend
over
from hell, I feel like.
whatever, but a fun weekend from hell if that could be a thing.
Yes.
But yeah, so I got the mud off mine today, and my rock rails are just rashed up like nobody's business.
I still haven't cleaned mine off yet. I'm
That's
kind
what
of
they're
afraid
there
to.
for.
I'm kind of afraid
Well,
to see what damage
I only clean mine off because I don't want Dustin to hate me when he's replacing my the thing that I broke.
What did you break?
We're not on day 2 yet.
No.
We're not on day 2. Well, day 1, Dustin, you can post the short little video clip on where we think,
Yeah.
but didn't realize until after we got on the hardball to head back to the RV park that
Oh
that's
yeah.
my drive shaft
Yeah. On Little Widow, again, at the very top of the trail,
at the end.
Thomas made this horrible noise. And both Dustin and I were like, what in the hell was that? That was Thomas. Thomas, what did you hit? And he goes, all of it. I hit all of it. We're like, uh-huh. Like, no,
All
you
of it
didn't.
was hit.
You hit something very specific because
Give it a good little bump right there. Get that rear end up over.
that
So,
noise is horrible.
I watched Wheat's YouTube video they posted today, and for whatever reason, whenever you came up, like he started you almost in the middle,
He
Yeah.
did.
going over
Yeah.
over the rocks.
I think he's
all
trying-
of the rest of
but-
us started far right. Like we,
The
I
last
think
two,
because they didn't know
they
what the
started in the
gladiator line
middle.
was.
yeah, the last two. So I don't know. Maybe he was thinking that the line was different
The
since
line
you were
was
longer
there.
or
Well,
whatever.
he was asking me which way I
Uh,
wanted to go, and I went like this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just tell me
Yeah.
which way to go, and I was going to go. And that's
But
what I
anyway,
did.
and then he like backed you off a time or two and sort of tried. I think he's trying to work you over to the right, and then yeah,
If he would have
you
just told me to
you
go
just
to the right,
popped
then I
on the
would've
rear
gone to
end
the
and
right.
it just like slid over. That's
Slid
definitely
over.
when it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw the video in here.
Yeah, but we didn't realize it, and that was at the beginning of the day. So, and then we
I
wheeled
know.
all the rest of
Hard.
finished up Widow, and then went all the way to Big Widow, and then wheeled that. She's got up really quick on the
See
waterfall.
what I'm
Actually,
wearing?
yeah, Adam's drive shaft. Yep, yep. That's one thing I was talking to Patrick about. Go ahead and getting a
It's
2-piece
being
Adams.
ordered.
Yep.
Nice.
He's supposed to be he's supposed to have talked to him today, if not tomorrow, to try and get that worked in. But yeah, so what was it for day 2, or yeah, it's still on day 1 on Big Widow. She's 5 of us out of the 15. 4 of us out of the 15 made it up the waterfall.
Mhm.
I know.
And,
When everyone
I
else was
thought,
getting winched
and I actually got up it faster and quicker than I did the first time
In
I did it
November.
back in November.
Did Tim not make
our
it also?
video, Tim did
In
not.
the-
No, Tim did.
Tim made it.
So then
Billy
there's
did
five.
not.
There's
Billy
five.
didn't.
So there's
Billy
five.
did.
There's you
Only
and
4.
Sylvia,
Mark
Mark and
Mark went a different
Clyde.
way, but yeah,
Mark and Clyde
Clyde-
took the high
Clyde-
route.
Clyde
Clyde
did
didn't
not
make
make
it.
Clyde didn't
He
make
didn't
it all
make
the way
it.
up.
He had to get
got
winched.
Oh,
Clyde didn't make it.
his
Yeah.
he
Like
caught
4.
his rear diff on that top rock.
okay.
Mhm.
That's
Gotcha.
why when Clyde didn't make it, I just assumed. I turned on my winch, got my dang little thing out. I was like, I guess I'm winching today.
Well,
And
I
then
did too.
I again
You
was
saw me fall
surprised
out
when
there.
I didn't. I was like, holy crap, how did that go?
But I made it up. Well, Mark made it on the high side, then I made it, and then Sylvia made it, and then
Tim made
Tim
it.
made it.
Billy did not.
Who's number 5?
That was
Billy-
it.
No,
That
no,
was
no,
it.
was it.
no.
Just the
I
4.
was thinking Clyde was number 5, but he didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's-
that was 4.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
4 of us.
No.
And yeah, but see, I wheeled that whole time, all day, going through there on the bent drive shaft and didn't know it
Yeah. And it was a nice spin. See a picture.
until we got on the hardball and then realized, why am I getting this
we can,
vibration at 20
yeah,
miles
we can only
an
drive
hour?
15 miles an hour home.
Then we get to day 2.
Day 2.
And I'm leading, so you know that that's always going to be a problem.
Yes.
Why do you guys let me do that? What ends up being a problem is that I break my stuff or somehow something. It's fine. So yeah, so
I'll be back in a minute.
Uh-oh.
My bad. That's not
I'll be
good.
back in a minute.
You're going to
That
hit
was a
pause?
commercial break.
And we're back.
It's fine. It's being recorded. It's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it's showing recording.
And the
It's
other
not-
one's
it's not
going to
recording.
save.
Yeah. It only. It
The
no.
other
It,
one.
it's still. I don't know.
It says recording.
It's
But
recording.
did the other one save?
Well, I don't know. It usually doesn't save until we end the call, so
Oh,
it will.
crap.
It'll
We'll
be
be fine.
fine.
Everything's fine.
It's
It'll-
all fine. We'll
we'll
figure
figure
it out.
We'll figure it out. Well,
Actually, I haven't started talking yet, so we're good.
Well, this
Okay,
podcast is
sorry.
definitely going to be short because we're going to literally not have
R2,
anything we just said.
it's fine.
Right.
If so, it's Dustin's fault. Dustin, go answer your important phone call.
I should have hit record.
So I
we
guess
still-
he'll be back.
It still shows recording.
Yeah, same.
I don't really know. That's probably a work call. It's fine. Anyway, so I had planned out that we were going to do Crawler Creek, Casey's Climb. I thought about doing Tipsy Rock, but I ended up canceling that out, and I probably should have done that instead. Anyway, and then we were planning on going to Widows, but even just getting to Crawler Creek was interesting. It was interesting. The mud, poor Dan, like plowed mud. So I did give him a reset again. Is that what we're still calling that? Or I pulled his butt all the way through.
You pulled him all the way through.
You pulled him through, so that was not a reset. If you would have, if I would have pulled him backwards, then that would have been the reset.
Yeah.
You pulled him forward, so
Yeah.
sorry,
If
Dan, no
you
reset.
took anything to anybody because they can't make it, you recovered them. It doesn't matter.
Yes. So we brought out the pink helmet on Sunday too for the first time with WKN, and that was super fun. I think pretty much everybody wore that thing. Maybe not. What was that one guy's Daniel?
Daniel.
The one in the LJ. I don't think they wore it, but maybe not. But I feel like
Well,
I took it home with me.
because of a certain issue, I was trying to become Sylvia's anchor because of the issue, and so I ended up having to be winched because that was
I
not
said
the
that
side
didn't
I was
count.
planning on going on in the first
I
place.
said that shouldn't have counted.
We only did it for safety reasons, so we didn't roll on that side.
Yeah, that's what I said. You shouldn't have got a pink helmet for that.
No, I didn't wear it.
That was,
I didn't wear it.
Yeah, that was
After what you
did.
After what you did, somebody would have had to break in order to do
we
pink
get
helmet.
through like actual sketchy stuff, and then again at the very damn end, I made it in November on the hard side. I went to the easy side, and it was so wet.
You were a little bit more. You were in the middle, so it necessarily wasn't an easier side. The far left would have been the easier side, but you were trying to go up the middle, not the over hard side, but more in the middle than the far left.
I was trying to go easier than I did in November.
Yes,
and I thought I bounced, but when we went back and looked, but then I didn't remember bouncing. But I always think that's the only way I'm going to break an axle is if I bounce. So I'm like, I must have bounced. I'm sorry. And then I went back and watched the video, and I did not bounce. I was turning, and then I slid.
yeah.
And then I don't
with
know
you
what
having your
happened.
lockers on, as the tires were still spinning, and you slid down the rock and hit on that driver's front, it hit the ground the same time, and that's what. As soon as it touched the ground, it snapped.
Right here. Right here.
Yep. Turn uphill. Back up just a hair and give her a little bump. Right there, go. Oh!
There
What was
goes
that?
your axle.
It was loud. I wish that we had a video with the noise. We have a drone video, so there's no sound, but it was horrible. The noise. And then
It was a
I
high
look
pitched
over.
ting.
Did you have your GoPro still going?
You know what? I think that I have my front camera one, so I might be able to pull it off of that.
It
But
was-
yeah, as soon as it made that noise, I swung my head and I looked at Thomas and Scotty, and they both were like, you could just tell that they didn't want to tell me. They're like, that sounds really bad. That's not just like one of those bind up noises. That's definitely a brake noise.
And I thought it was the tie rod at first because I was waiting for the
Yeah.
tire to go whoop, but it didn't. And I was like,
No.
oh, that's something else.
Yeah, and then we thought it was just the U joint, and I was like, okay, $50, woohoo! No,
It was
it
a
like
shaft, too.
elongated my shaft. It did my inner shaft,
Elongated
not the outer.
your shaft.
Yeah, my
So
shaft
you-
got
So you
elongated.
played with it too long, and it elongated.
Yeah, it like stretched out all weird, and they say that it goes back, but I don't believe it because I have to buy a new one. Terrible.
Everybody but one person had to be winched up that easy
Yeah.
side. Let me put it that
Yeah.
way. People got damaged. You broke. Brian hit a tree. I mean,
Brian caught a
Okay,
tree
so
on his
when I
bumper.
heard him hit, I went tearing down because I was like, "Oh gosh, that sounded really bad." But I think
and
he
the
just got
person that made it
bumper.
almost flipped at the top. So
I
I'm
know,
back. What a
Tanya.
mess.
She didn't
He,
see the deep hole. She came in, she hit it, the passenger front went up in the air
I
and
know the
slammed
boys
down. So
just
when the
run.
back rear hit the passenger rear tire, hit the hole, then the left front went way up in the
Oh
air.
my gosh,
It was
it's
funny. She
crazy.
stopped and she looked out her window and goes, "Help." It was so it was so funny. Help. It
But
was
that's
so
how I
innocent and
felt.
clean, like, I don't know what to do. I'm frozen. Help.
Yeah, that's how I felt on Widowmaker when I didn't realize that I didn't get disconnected, and I was in that mud hole. Like I didn't real because it's so much water, and I fell in the hole, and my front tire goes 3 feet off the ground. I'm like, how deep of a hole am I in the back? Dustin's like, whoa. And then we go up Widow. Yeah. And if you guys go on YouTube, I'm sure actually, we do have the video up on YouTube already
Yeah,
and
you
TikTok, I
posted
think.
The
your
short.
video.
The one of you and me. Yeah. It says carbon goes up first. And then I think it's like a minute and 23 seconds for both of us to go, not even sped up, like just boom, boom. Uh, but it's rough. When I go up, I am like, boom, boom. I hit my head. And then come to find out that I wasn't disconnected. So that would make sense why that ride was rough as crap. It was a rough
I
ride.
have the video of y'all sitting on her front. So it's already pulled down that front, and then she gets out of it, and y'all hop off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Scotty and David jumped on her front end to pull her Jeep back down because
Yeah.
I mean,
Tanya,
you
if she
still
would have
see the
moved
hole.
it
anymore,
was
it
sketchy.
would have.
It would
Went right on over.
If
Yeah.
if the rear bumper wouldn't have hit in the rut, she would have rolled.
Yeah.
But other than that, pretty much everybody came out unscathed. So we're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
And
And
then
then with
we,
all the chaos of trying to get
yeah,
Sylvia fixed and everybody else,
Thomas
they
had
had
to
to
change his
pull.
underoos.
no, I didn't. No, I was wearing
Thomas wears
cold weather
layers.
pants underneath my jeans, and I was getting hot. So I
Where did
decided
you go to change them? In your Jeep?
in front of my Jeep because
You
nobody was in
I
front of
didn't
me.
even
So I
see.
just
Okay.
changed my pants. I
Got
just
naked
took
out
them off.
there.
Yeah,
You're
pretty
Got
right.
much
naked out there.
got naked up there, and then
And he usually
He's always
carries a little
carrying.
something. Yep.
And
And he took
laid
it off
on his
so
tire.
and then forgot about it and drove off
because
and
all the
drove over.
chaos that was going on of trying to help
Pew pew
Dustin
got
and
smushed.
David,
He put his pocket knife on his tire
I did.
Yeah.
and then
And then got everybody
forgot
up. Jeez, we were probably another hour
Or
or
more.
so
at
because there was
least.
only three or four of us up at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
We still had another 6 people to go ish.
That
Got
was scary.
all
I
we
thought
were-
you
the
guys
way
were gonna have to
back.
like
We were
call the
taking
sheriff's
off from
department and
there,
tell them
and
you how do you call the sheriff's department and be like, I lost my gun in the woods. I hope
We would have
nobody
just
takes
drove
it. Shoot
up there.
Pocket
Bullying
knife, Sylvia.
happens.
Pocket
It
knife,
happens.
Sylvia. Pocket
I'm
knife.
like,
pocket knife.
we hit a pocket.
Pocket
Yeah.
knife.
It
So-
happens.
So all the way back, he's stressing.
Well,
Stressing so
first though,
bad.
when we go to leave, Scotty was getting some really bad death wobble, and it's
Yeah.
about regular drive. It's about 20 minutes from where we were at to get to the RV park. It was
Yeah,
about a 20-minute drive.
when you're not driving with a death wobble or a bent drive
Scotty was
shaft.
having really bad death wobble, so we were doing 20 miles an hour, and then there were too many cars stacking up behind us, and then Sylvia was like, "Hey, you and Michael go ahead and take off, so y'all can go ahead and start getting stuff packed up, ready to leave." And then so me and Michael take off while Sylvia, Scotty, and John Callahan, he had a bad wobble also. Ended up being too much mud in his tires. And so we get back to camp. As soon as I back up, I popped the hood to start airing up, and then I looked at my bumper and I went,
Oh no.
"Oh no!" Then I grabbed my waist, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" I was like, "Stacy, I done messed
I
up."
don't even want to tell you. I
I
don't even want
I
to tell you
done
what
messed
happened.
up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So
But
get
they
aired
found
up
it, so
real
it's
quick.
fine.
We're literally throwing all our stuff because we didn't know how long we were going to be gone. If Dustin and Sylvia was going to have the trailer put back together and already getting ready to leave before we would have a chance to get back, because I didn't know for sure what I was going to have to do. So get aired up, get all of our crap loaded up, and then me and Stacy take off to go back to, and it's another 25, 30 minutes. So here it's been about an hour, hour and a half time difference from the time we left to the time we start heading back to or by the time we get back on the trail to go
Yeah,
and
so you're
find it.
lucky it was still there.
And lo and behold, it was sitting right there.
Yeah,
That
so
would have
hopefully
been a
all the
fun
craziness.
report.
Huh?
I said that
You
would have
said
been a fun report.
Oh, I know, right?
I was like, do you have your serial numbers? And he's thinking he's like, yeah, they're probably at home. And then he remembered they're in the Jeep.
That's good.
Yeah, I
Registered
have
them.
all my serial numbers on all my firearms in the Jeep. Well, being
That's good.
military and on base, because we lived on base, any firearm that you have to register it on base.
Yeah.
And then they give you a paperwork so that you can prove every time you come in and out of the gate, you can show,
That's
hey,
right.
here's my paperwork that is registered
Yeah.
on base. So so I was like, oh yeah, it's right here in my glove box. So I do have that in case we needed it. Luckily,
That's good.
so from now on, disclaimer for everybody: put it inside your vehicle. Don't.
Not
Yes.
on it. Not
You
on it.
Not on it.
never do that. You always stick it in your front seat. You always do.
90
Oh, weird.
apparently 99.999% of the time I always take it. If I need to take it off, I take it off, slide it under my seat.
Under a
That's
seat.
the first thing I said was, what do you mean he put it outside? He always puts it inside his Jeep when he takes it up. Like if you're
Sylvia,
going to get under
The first thing I said
I
is,
know.
I know you want a new one, but this is not the way to get it.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
I
Oh my gosh.
like it. I didn't want to get rid of it that way.
Yeah. Anyway, so the weekend was crazy. We got lots of good videos. You know us, like it'll take 6 years, but we'll eventually get them all loaded. So so be on the lookout for those on YouTube. But we survived that crazy weekend, and now we're getting ready to head into like another crazy busy 4 weeks. And Ashley is one of those events. Yeah, she's tell us a little bit about yourself, Ashley, and then you can tell people what we're going to be busy doing.
I'm Ashley with Foundation 31 and the St. Matthews Police Department. I also assist in event planning for the St. Matthews Fraternal Order of Police. We are going into our second annual Flexing for the 5-0 next weekend.
Wow, that is next weekend, isn't it?
It is next weekend.
Tell me about it. I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh
crap.
But it's going to be fun. We had a lot of fun last year. Really good turnout. I think we had 70 or 80 Jeeps compete in the show and shine. So,
and for your
awesome.
first event, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah,
that's huge.
Huge. You all came out last year for our flex ramp, and you all plan on setting up again this year. So that's going to be fun. Got my Drogon's little trophy up there.
Nice.
Yes,
There.
I made that, and I'm making 4 more this year.
I love those. Somebody else asked me that today if you all were making your trophies this year, and I said, "Yep, she plans on it."
There it is.
You got one more weekend, Sylvia. We got to get it
I know.
done.
They'll be finished. They'll be
Get
finished.
Not one more weekend,
Don't break
just got
any more
the rest
Jeep
of the-
parts. Start
rest of this
welding
week.
stuff.
I know. Well, that's what Scotty
Where do you
yesterday
think we
said.
get the metal to make the trophies from?
I
From the
know.
broken Jeep parts.
He pulls out my drive or my axle, and he's like, "Is this going to be your trophy?" Maybe.
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 I use
It's gonna
it.
be Ashley's trophy. It's gonna be on Ashley's shelf.
I wish. I'm just saying, if I could flex the CJ, probably. But Drogon, we took her spacers out, so won't be as big of a flex this year as she was last year.
Was it bothering you, or was it?
No, I just thought it made the Jeep look squatty because for us to do 37s, we want to go bigger everywhere, or even 40s. We want to go bigger everywhere. We're not quite there yet. So
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, before the Jeep invasion, we took the spacers out of Drogon and made it a little less skateboard looking like. because our 35s are teeny tiny. They're bitty,
So
little bitty.
Yeah. So real quick, tell us what rigs you have, because you have two pretty cool rigs.
Yes,
Plus a
we
Tesla.
have and a Tesla. Yeah. I mean, best of both worlds, I guess. Drogon. It's a 2018 JLU Rubicon. It's got a 4x4 attitude action shield on it with Drogon from Game of Thrones. Hang on, let me grab this.
Yeah. House of Bratcher.
Oh yes, Drogon the JLU House Bratcher. This is a watercolor painting of it.
Oh, that's
awesome.
cool.
So cool.
And that's more or less our like daily driver Jeep. And then we have our show Jeep, which is a 1986 CJ7, which Sylvia named Sugar.
Because why?
Because the guitarist of Def Leppard, Phil Collin, was the original owner of the CJ. So we've kept it. We took it to V3. V3 helped us restore it back to its original condition, because obviously Rich is huge in restoring CJs, and that's where he got his job started there. And he restored it back to about as original as we can make it. It sat for a long time, and that's our show baby. We get that one out for all the local shows.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys flex that one too? Did y'all?
Oh God, no,
they did
we'd
pretty
flip
good.
that one. We would flip that one. It's big. It sits on, I think it still sits on 35s, but they're Mickey Thompsons, and they are very knobby. And it has no flex whatsoever to it. So
Leaf spring still.
Yeah, I mean, the wind could probably flip that thing.
Feels a little unstable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's sexy, so it's fine.
I mean, me and Thomas did put our golf cart on the flex ramp.
We did.
It did.
Oh, well,
So-
challenge accepted.
And the
then,
and I
guess.
think the lawnmower. Did you put the lawnmower on it once?
Potentially. Yeah. I put the
Potentially.
Armada on there. Whatever we can put on
They've
Oh,
there.
we
done
did
some
the
stupid
Armada on
things.
it too.
Yeah. They've done
Yeah.
some stupid
Put the
things.
Tesla on it.
There
It
you go.
There
was
you go.
funny though. It was funny whenever they did the golf cart, because I think at first it almost flexed better than Scotty's Jeep until he got the new stuff on it.
Well, I don't know about that, because we
Like,
did have to add
that-
we had to add boards at the bottom just to be able to get it up
Just
the
to
very
drive it up.
just to get it on the ledge of the ramp.
And the rear tire was like off the
Yeah,
ground.
it was
too,
like
so.
that far off the ground, but
So what we're saying is
Fine.
bring whatever you want to Flex and 5.0 to go up
Yes.
the ramp. You pay, we'll measure it. We
That's
don't care
right.
what it is. We
And
don't
all
care
of
what
it
is.
goes to a good cause, right?
That's
all
right.
of it.
Yeah.
David's coming with the audio competition too.
Yes.
So that's going to
How
be
fun
an
to have an
addition.
audio competition this year. Yeah.
Yep. And I
he's
think- Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's so professional with it. He has like the whole thing that goes in, and then the big
It's got the
screen,
sensors.
and and then it tells you like if you have if it's like a clean staticky single. I don't know. His is not just like the decibel being like, okay, your decibel's this. He's got like all these equations and stuff. It's nuts to me.
He
Yeah, it says if
was
there's
trying
any
to
really
feedback and
into it.
stuff.
He
Yeah.
is into it.
he was trying to break it down for me one day. I was asking about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't
You know what?
speak
Never
that.
mind. I don't care. He was
Just-
telling, he's been helping us with ours, and I'm like, David, maybe one of these days you can call me at like 7 a.m. when my medicine just kicked in, and I might be able to follow you. But right now, can you just tell
Just make it
Dustin?
sound good. Just
Yeah.
make it sound
Just
good.
tell,
Yep,
just make it
exactly.
loud. Tell Dustin. I don't care. Tell me
Well,
how
he
much
was
mowing I
there
did.
that night when you all were trying to help fix ours after it
Yeah.
was messed up. Yeah.
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 He did say that all the way down to stock audio
Yep.
would be
He's
qualified
having a bunch
for
of trophies.
awards.
Yeah, he's having a bunch of plaques or whatever they are. He's having a bunch of those made. So
Yeah. And
I
they
think
look
it's
really
pretty
cool.
decent.
Yep.
They do. Yeah. Thanks, Mike
Several
Ledford,
categories.
for doing those. Yeah.
Those are really cool. I love the custom ones that you all are doing. And then speaking of my CJ, this was last year's custom trophies.
Yeah.
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 This year they're going to be similar, but they're going to be our new logo.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So our CJ got to win that one. That's the first time. I tell you what, Dan Taylor. I'm sure most of you know him. He's got that beautiful orange CJ5.
Yes. Yeah.
If he's ever at a show that we're on,
You don't win.
nope,
Yeah.
nope, it's
He
out.
wins it all.
It's
They
out.
need
So
to come to the Pusa Fest next year, so they'll win
Yes,
with
yeah.
DJ. Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
When is that? Usually,
End
like
of
about
March
In
March.
or into April. End of March. Yeah.
End of March.
Right. Was that when it
I
was?
think
End of
it's in
March.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Go to
Yep,
the
it's
calendar.
in March.
In
They
Alabama.
should already have the
It's in
schedule
Alabama.
for next year. I think they already have the schedule for
It
next
was the
year.
last week of March.
Okay.
And they have the
I
new
remember
schedule out.
seeing that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd
and they
be-
didn't
It was
have a
really
lot of Jeeps
fun,
there.
and they have a
didn't have a
classic
lot,
division.
really. There
They
was
did
a
have a
lot
classic-
less than we thought.
They had,
They were
they
gonna
had
be.
that classic
And-
division, and there
and
was
the,
only
2.
2.
Yeah, and the prize money, $1,000 for first
Yeah,
place,
you get
$750
money
for second,
when
and
you win there,
$500 for
not
third
just
place.
1,000 for
Money.
first, $750 for second, and
And
500
500
for third.
for third.
Oh my gosh.
It's worth the trip, and it's
They
not
had-
a casino.
They had 11 categories, and then also they did a one on show and shine for basically unlimited. So it was basically whoever out of everybody that was there, first, second, and third. But it was 250, 200, and then 150 for that.
That's
crazy.
That's awesome.
It was well over, I'd say 25, 30 grand just in prize money.
I know. You're like,
That's-
can we just get that much to donate to the 5-0? Dang.
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
So-
we're gonna get there. It's gonna be fine. I
The
believe you.
5-0, the St. Matthews FOP, that's who essentially hosts the 5-0 show. And we're raising money to benefit the officers if they are to grow ill or injured, or we have a community member that needs help. All that money goes directly towards our FOP fund. Our officers put a portion of their percentage of their money from their paychecks in it every paycheck. So it's constantly a growing fund, but I think it's like,
It gets depleted a lot, probably. I'm sure.
yes, it does. So like last year we raised a good amount of money. I think when I say a good amount, for our first year, having to pay for all the things for the show to get it
Permits,
ready.
all insurance, all that. crap,
Everything.
shirts,
I think we
trophies.
ended up raising almost $4,000 last
That's
year.
so good. Yeah, that's
Awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
We have this year so far, what we have raised, we have paid the show. And at this
Good.
point, anything the $10 for flex, $10 for the audio, the $30 show and shine, all of that goes directly towards the FOP.
Nice.
That's
And
so awesome.
It's really cool to be able to do
Yeah.
that for our officers and give back to those guys and ladies
Heck yeah.
that work really hard
Yeah.
there.
Awesome.
And you guys are still looking for vendors too, right? And your vendor thing is
Yes.
nice because tell me again, it's a certain amount, but then it's a flat fee. You don't have to give a
Yeah.
percentage of your sales. Is that right?
A lot of places like that, they end up doing a percentage of sales, but no, it's a flat fee. It's $75.
Tax
But you get
deductible.
all this yes, tax exempt. But you get all the space you need. We're not going to seclude you to a 10 by 10 tent space. If you need 2 parking lot, there are 2 parking spaces, 3, 4, whatever you need, you get that. Like it's a huge, you all were there last year. It's a huge
Oh, yeah, it's
parking
giant.
lot.
That's a massive parking lot. Yeah.
Huge. And we're pulling the show kind of closer together to where our specialty competitions for flex and the audio, they're going to be in their own section to avoid traffic,
Yeah.
chaos. And then we'll put all the vendors together and you'll still have all the room you need.
Because that was our first show too, wasn't it? That was our first time. So that was our first flex competition that we put on
I think
with you guys. And then we've grown, and kind of learned things ever since. But even that one, we're like, oh, we need stanchions or whatever those things are called because people walk right in front of a car getting ready to go up a ramp and they're gonna die today. So
Yep.
we learned to be better about blocking stuff like that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of like you're saying, be in a corner, like away from traffic, and
Mhm.
because to get to the vendors last year, they had to like walk through us,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
which
Mhm.
kind of turned into craziness. But every time you do something, you're going to learn something from it and make it better.
It's constant learning
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I expect this year to be great and next year to be even better.
Our voting's going to be different too. It's going to be, we're going to do like a QR code, kind of like
Love that.
SurveyMonkey or something of
Yeah.
that type, where you scan a QR code, you go in, you vote for your 10 categories.
Yep.
And then once it ends, the survey shuts off, it's already tallied. You have your
Yeah.
numbers
Oh yeah.
there. There's no person is counting it. It's done
Perfect.
by
That's
the
awesome.
website.
There's less human error that way.
Yeah.
Less accidentally giving someone 2 ballots, not giving someone a ballot. Are you guys going to
Yeah.
allow people that are just there to vote, or is it only people who have registered to show and shine?
So last year we did anybody that showed up and wanted to vote. And that's kind of where your like your fan favorites came in and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that because that's what Shelbyville Jeep Invasion. I mean, anybody off the street can take a
Yeah.
picture and vote. So that's kind of nice too, because then I feel like you actually get, not just, I don't know,
You
the
get more
people that are in it.
participation,
Yes.
people coming
Yes.
in, your vendors get
Yeah.
to, and their families if
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
there. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's always
because-
cool whenever you voted for someone and they won, and you're like, oh, I picked that person, or I picked that Jeep.
And where we were last year too, we got a lot of foot traffic. People saw the Jeeps, they saw the signs, and they're like, "Ooh, what is that?" And they came in,
Yeah.
they parked, and they're like, "Oh, can we vote?" Absolutely,
Yes,
please.
please do.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was really cool, getting a lot of the foot traffic there and
It's a busy
having
Have you
the
thought it-
public.
Have you thought about and maybe even next year, but I know that whenever we did the one, I don't know, it's where we won the ALA post. It's where I won the best in show and best flex.
Oh yeah, that
But
was up in
for
Indiana.
$1 or for $5 you got 5 ducks or something, and then at the end of the day the people, and you would write on the bottom of the ducks like some initial or sticker, and then they would duck their favorite Jeep, but you had to pay for that. And at the end of the day, whoever had the most ducks won, like kind of like a fan favorite or most ducked or whatever like that. So that was another way for you to kind of make money, because you're selling these ducks, but you're getting them all back because they have to bring and turn in their ducks, whoever got the most. And then people can't cheat because they have to have either your special sticker or your whatever it is that you're using to count it. That was the first time I'd seen that, and I thought that was actually pretty neat.
Well, you can do
And
the same
the
thing.
kids get so dang excited to do that.
Yeah.
That could be
do
an
that
easy way to do
same
fan
thing
favorite.
with the like the chuck a duck, like the Weeds
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's where all the kids just throw the duck at whatever there is, the closest one.
There's so
That's
many
a
like
really good
little
idea,
things
too.
like that.
Yeah.
Mhm. But we're even going to try to do. I think I talked to you about it. As we would like to do. What are those little things called? Little RC cars. So if you got anybody who's interested in being RC cars, pay a couple bucks to get on the RC ramp, and people are crazy about those too.
Dustin, we need to get a little bitty tape measure when we do this.
That's
I
funny.
think there's a few that roll around that have matching, like their RCs
Oh,
match.
I know. Yeah, I know.
The RC cars, the
Kids ride
kids-
along.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Voodoo is
Yeah.
doing all of those this year for theirs, Go Topless. And, just trying to get more family friendly as well.
Well, just more participation, because not everybody has a show Jeep. Not everybody has a flexi Jeep. Not everybody has a sound system. Some people just have
A
shit
Jeep.
boxes that do nothing, or they might have
Yeah.
like a very basic Jeep, but they love it and they want to be involved.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I feel like it's a way to include everybody, include your kids, almost like a church picnic, you know what I mean, with some of the things. So people like it. And the people that don't, who cares? We don't care what you think. If you have a problem with it, move on. Only positive
There's always
stuff
going to be
around here.
complainers somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm sure people will be like, "What are we doing with ducks?" I don't know.
Because we are.
Because it just
Yeah.
happens,
It's fun.
it's just part of it. It's nice. So if they want to throw a duck at a bucket and win $5, then we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? But no,
It
it's
is
fun.
a good idea to add like the kids, just a kids section, kids event, kids anything into that.
Because those are our future too. Like if we want the Jeep clubs to continue and off-roading and stuff to continue, then we got to get some younger people in there. And And I feel like anytime there are younger people, all the older people are so excited that they take them under their wings. Yeah, and that's like great about the Jeep community too.
Yeah.
So tell us how do we get people to sign up? What do we do?
So on Facebook, you can follow the St. Matthews. I think it's here. I am in charge of it, and I don't even know the name.
Well, you have it
St.
shared to
Matthews.
the White Knuckle Nation, right?
Yes. So the event's been shared to that. It's also on the St. Matthews FOP, St. Matthews FOP Lodge 31. We have shared the crap out of it on that event. The event itself on Facebook is the second annual Flex-In for the 5-0 Jeep Show. It's a mouthful. But you can register that way. You've got show and shine, vendor registration, and it's been funny this year. I've had some people say that they can't get to, if they follow the square link after they purchase their vendor registration or their show and shine registration, it should direct you to Google Forms to fill out all the information we need. You know, Jeep names, years, whatever,
Stuff like that.
T-shirt sizes. Before May 5th, if you get your registration in before May 5th, you get the free show shirt too. Otherwise, you got to pay for the show shirt at the show.
Yeah.
But,
so you can register at the show. Like if internet's not your thing, other than of course YouTube, since you're watching us, but maybe you don't have Facebook or you don't know how to save a QR code and open it from your phone, because sometimes that's a thing, or so they can show up day of pay. Are you a cash only event, or do you do Venmo, Zelle?
We'll do cash or Square. So we'll have cash or card reader there, and our registration ends at 11. That's when the show starts, is at 11, but you can start parking at 10 o'clock. So we'll do we'll do all the registration up until the show actually starts at 11, and then we'll go until about 2:30, and then the awards will start at 3.
QR codes as well.
Yeah, we'll post those.
Yeah.
So let's say someone can't get there at 11. If they pre-register, will you let people in until like noon or something?
Yeah.
Or does everybody need to be there? But you just won't do any table at the door registration after 11. So if you want to do like
it'll be open. They just won't get the votes.
Okay.
They just won't get all the votes if they're not there earlier. We'll accept you all the way up until we start the awards. Come, the more the merrier. But they're just not going to get the votes on their rigs if they're not there.
Yeah, because people will start voting. So some people will start voting at 11 is what you're saying. So
yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, but it'll be open. The voting link, once we post it, the voting link will be open until we close it between 2 and 2:30. With it not being human counted, it'll go a lot quicker this year.
Yes. Yeah.
Last year, it took an army to get all of those votes counted.
It's literally the worst thing ever to have to hand count votes. And then you have to try to have someone that doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, it's just hard to find impartial people, because someone's always going to freaking say something. Yeah. So it's much easier. That's why we love doing the flex ramp, and I know David loves doing audio, is because it's numbers, like it's measurements. It's not like, we like this sheet. There's none of that. So it is super nice whenever you're like, there's like literally no way I could have screwed this up. So we're gonna let the internet do it.
Trying to avoid any of that. And that way you can just scan it with your phone and
sounds
go.
Good.
And vote.
I love it.
What are the categories? Do you have a category set yet?
Yes, I do.
Actually,
so we're doing 11 total, with our top, I think it's our top 2 will be large trophies, and then all of the other ones will be smaller, like the one I showed you. We're doing a military class. We added that one. We didn't technically have a military class last year. We kind of put them into the old school category, or whatever they wanted, it best stock either, but we added military. So we're doing the old school CJ and YJ class, TJ, JK, JKU, JL, JLU, the JT. We're doing a non-Wrangler, a best built, best stock, fan favorite, and then host favorite. That'll be voted on by non-Jeep driving FOP members. So like, Josh, he's actually in the FOP, and I am associated with the FOP. We're not voting on the host favorite.
Because
we have our Jeeps. They're probably going to be in the show. We're not voting. We have no influence. This is solely on non-Jeep driving FOP members. And they are not allowed to vote on our Jeep. We told them that last year. They're like, well, and I'm like, no, go. And I think Amadeus was the winner last year, and she was all decked out in thin blue line, everything. But they walked around for a better part of 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Discussing their favorites, and they narrowed it down to like 5. But so that is a big rule for us, is this FOP will vote on that one. And that's the biggest one. But
Nice.
So the show the show and this foundation is something like super dear to your heart. So I love that too.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah. That it like means so much to you. You can tell that you put your whole heart and soul into it. Because I swear, what did you message me, like November, that or it was early when you got the date, and I know you've been working on it pretty much since you ended last year. Trying to think about things, and
it was right before Christmas that we scheduled. We looked at the dates. My goal is to always be one of the first bigger shows in the area around the Jeep Beach and Jeep Jam and all of those. Like, that's my goal, is to always be that and grow into something where people can jump from all the big shows like that.
How fun will it be in a couple of years when people drive from other states specifically for the Flexing for 50 in Louisville show?
I would think it would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah. We have the original group of people that were involved in it, and you start to see it grow like it has.
See it grow.
Yeah.
Yep. That's really so fun, cool. So exciting. It'd be so cool to have like so many other police officers from different, like states and counties or whatever to come and support you guys. Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm a part of the Thin Blue Line Jeepers, and there's a nation group, and then there's individual chapters, and I'm actually the administrator, the moderator for the Kentucky chapter. And it is like, I'm like, guys, they're all up in, New Jersey and all. I'm like, calm down. Like, you're all down. About this.
Yeah, there is. Louisville's fun too. There's stuff that they can do. That's what you need to try to focus on too, is some of the stuff that they can make it a weekend trip and not just a Jeep show, but other things, that they can do. And who knows, maybe you can start getting some bigger vendors or, some of the other Jeep clubs to like come and set up as vendors and make it a big thing. I have faith in you. I think you're going to do a good job, and I think that you're going to raise lots of money for them. So
thank you.
Awesome.
I hope so. I'm hopeful for it.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about it that we haven't talked about yet?
Shack in the Back. They're going to be one of our food vendors. They're always one of our sponsors for that. And we're adding Ramiro's Cantina, which Ramiro is really, really big and giving back into his community. And I'm so excited to have him on board this year. And then, of course, Shack in the Back in general, they're great, giving back in their community across the board. And I'm always
even whenever, because didn't the owner just have something happen to them and they're still like just giving and giving and giving, even whenever crap, you know what I mean? I saw that on Facebook. I was like, she's still like, oh, here you go. Yeah.
Their son was up in Pennsylvania, and he is a lineman, and he was on like a storm job, and he decided to take his side-by-side out, and he wrecked it. And it's him. He's gone through several surgeries, and his rig's totaled. His partner that was in the car with him, or in the side-by-side with him, is on life support. And so, the Shack owners are going through it, and they are still like, what can we do? How can we support you? And I'm like, guys, let us.
For a small business, but that's just who they are. That's just who they are. Those are people you want in your corner.
Yeah, they're great. They're great people. Great business. Yeah.
So anybody in Louisville, go eat at Shack in the Back. Help support them, guys.
Yes,
support them.
please, please,
They're
please. There's
in
tons of
Fairdale.
donations out
Fairdale, right?
too. Yes, it's in Fairdale.
Yeah. Just keep them busy. I'm sure it helps at all.
Yeah, they have donations set up for the Civils family, and then I know that there's going to be donations set up at the show for them as well. So
That's awesome.
at their food truck, you'll be able to donate to them as well.
Yep, helping
Awesome.
people, helping people.
Yeah.
So that's next weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah, I
We're
know.
gonna be crazy busy, and then we have like a little ride with some of our buddies that the day after, and then we have another weekend of 2 more shows. So then we have the topless event. Ashley, are you guys gonna be able to come to one of the topless?
Yeah, I think we'll be there. I'm pretty sure
the
we'll be
following
there.
weekend.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
following,
the following weekend.
Is it the following? Well, it might be
Yeah.
me, Josh. I'll be bringing Drogon. Josh will probably be working.
Yeah, it's the following
so
weekend.
I don't know if you can even see my calendar here. Let me see. So this is where we're messing with someone's lift. Flexing for 5-0. Scotty's right. Topless for Voodoo. And then we have the vet bill garage as well. So that's
and then
Sunday.
And then the next weekend, after the vet bill,
we're going to be in S'more.
We're going to S'more. Literally
Yeah,
every weekend in May has already been taken
pretty much
care of.
nobody talked to us until I think that you can talk to us the 28th
until
of
2026.
Yeah,
Exactly.
until 2026. Yeah,
September
28th of June.
2026. 28th of June, I think that we have a free weekend, but I'm working, so it's nearly not free.
Okay, so noted
Yeah.
for a rain date. Push it back all the way to the end of summer.
Oh my God, don't even say that.
I'm
Have we
joking.
checked? Have we checked?
It's
Now I'm
fine right
stressed.
now. It's fine right now. I don't
Okay.
think we're in the 10-day period yet.
You know what? Jeeps are supposed to get wet,
Thank you.
so I'm pretty sure that that's just okay. So
Oh yeah, it rained last year for the first little bit during
was
setup
fine.
and stuff. It was drizzly, and then it ended up being hot, and everybody got
and
sunburned.
moist. Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
can
think
ignore that.
We're good.
Oh, so that does remind me. Since we have such a large parking lot, are you going to have people stacked together really tight, or if someone wants to have their Jeep and then have like one of those little canopies, can they do that?
They can
Or behind them, or in case it does rain.
You can bring your tents if you want to. You can kind of space out. We realized we have more room than we thought we did when we went to set up last year. The only thing is that I ask if you want to sit with or park with your people, come with your people. Please caravan in.
Exactly.
Don't come in and trickle in and be like, oh, I want to be with those 4 over there. I can't promise that those spots will be there.
Yeah.
Because we're going to have volunteers helping park and helping getting everybody in place. So just make
First
sure.
come, first serve for those locations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So come
like
in
I said
together.
last year, if you want to sit with your people, arrive with your people, because there's no promises.
Yeah.
But it is a large, very, very large parking lot right there at the corner of Breckenridge and Dutchman's, by the Pet Boys Marathon Vision Works area.
The Amish store place.
Yeah.
Is that still there? Where they built the Amish
No,
store?
that's actually Norton's, which is they're a huge supporter with us, like letting us have that lot. They're sorry, she's heading off to get ready for bed.
That's okay.
And Daryl Isaacs also, he's amazing. And he's helped us too get this together. He's a good sponsor for us.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah.
I think he's the hammer now.
The hammer. Same thing.
I never know. His office used to be right down the street from my other salon. So we used to have all of his workers come into the salon. So yeah. And then Dustin used to work on his Lexus.
Yeah.
I guess he's actually kind of short.
I was like
he looks giant on TV.
2004, 2005.
Like, who's this 5'6" dude?
He's super, super awesome. Yeah.
Again, it's always great whenever locals give back a lot.
Yep.
So it's awesome.
But if people want to bring tents, they can bring their their pop-ups. Make sure it's got
And
rain
good dogs
covers.
on a leash. Dogs on leashes is okay, or
Dogs on leashes are fine. We don't have anything against that. We will have, I believe, Dogs
People
Helping
always
Heroes
ask
out
that.
there again.
oh
So
snap, yeah. Who's coming? You know?
I don't know who all. I know one of our detectives, Rich, he owns or was the owner, him and his stepson, Double H K9. And they do the training for the Dogs Helping
Yep.
Heroes dogs.
They were out at that
So-
Sin Gym thing that we went to.
Mhm.
Yes. They came last year too. So I think they're going to be out there again this year. So it is pet friendly, just
Is
leashes.
Sarah coming with Mission 22? Is she going to be out there with Mission 22?
She'll be there, but she paid to be in the show and shine. So I don't think she's setting
Okay.
up for Mission 22. But I
Okay.
wanted to talk to her to see if she was going to have at least information with it.
Yeah.
Because that's a great
Big one. Yeah.
That's a great foundation.
I think
also.
that there's now another person or two who's also Mission 22. So maybe she has someone else that's going to set up instead. I have to ask her.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good one to be out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Sylvie, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna set up since we're gonna be doing the show and shine too. Our Jeeps aren't gonna be with us like they were last year.
I know. Yeah.
You're not setting, so you are going to be in the show and shine?
We just hadn't signed up yet. Yeah.
Oh, no
Yeah,
worries.
we've just been procrastinating on.
Well,
Yeah.
they were broken
Keep
up last
forgetting.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least our
Yeah.
because if we set up, we're in the show and shine, but we set up where we're gonna be set our Jeeps up at the. Nobody's gonna realize. Oh yeah, those over there are part of the show and shine.
Yeah.
We'll get you
that happens
parked
to us.
close.
Yeah, that happens to us sometimes. We're like, oh no, we're actually it happened at the topless.
Stop.
They're
may
like,
not
are you in it?
be-
I'm like, yes.
May not be much of a show and shine. It might be like a show and dirt.
It's fine.
I know.
It's fine.
Just for you, well, I'm going to add like muddiest Jeep. for next
Yeah.
year.
Well, please do.
There you go.
Please do.
most trail ready or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
because
if that's the case, then I'm not cleaning mine at all.
Most pinstripes.
well, no, I mean, there's no way. I have to get so much stuff. It'll be fine. It's fine.
It's all fine. It's hey, I'm right there with you. Because
What's
especially
funniest though
after
is that some of the ones I've won, I've been filthy, and people have said that that's the reason that they voted for me. So that's even
Yeah.
they felt bad for you.
Shelbyville Jeep Invasion was one of those. I was like,
Yeah.
really? I don't know if I should flex this. The outside was clean, the underneath was full of mud, and I had it up on the flex ramp, and it was just brown.
I mean, it's Jeep doing Jeep things. It should
Yeah,
be
the
dirty.
lady who runs it was like, I am so happy. Like, I'm so excited. I love your mud. Like, well, my husband doesn't. He hates it. He
Oh, I
hates the
hate
mud in the
mud.
garage.
Mud is the worst.
It was fun
No,
the
the
first
worst-
time. And
The
after
worst
that,
was it all in my axle hole, like since all that's gone. And I asked Dustin, I'm like, can I even try to wash this out? I don't know what
in
to
your
do.
axle hole.
What's it called? I don't know. The shaft hole? I don't know.
The shaft hole. It's
Just
not
made
called.
it worse.
It's not called. Yeah, it's not called any of that.
It's not.
I still couldn't figure out how my tire was still attached and not falling off and rolling, but I get it now. Kind of.
But do you?
No, she doesn't.
No, she don't. She don't
I
understand.
didn't think so.
How does any
I
of
don't
this
get
work?
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not understanding how it's twisting, but it's not attached.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
understand
attached.
how it
Well-
still spins if we don't like. It's like a scooter wheel. It's just along for the ride. It's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything. It's just there, ma'am.
It's just there.
It's just
Just
hanging
the
out.
trailer.
Just
But
like your
trailer-
head. Just like your head.
It's just on there for the
attached.
ride.
It's just attached.
Yeah, it's no different than a trailer wheel. The trailer wheels still roll.
I just didn't realize that it didn't have to be attached by the pole in the middle. That those things on the side. It's fine.
Hole
Everything's
in the middle.
So what I'm
Because
hearing,
that
Dustin,
thing that's shaped like
what I'm
this-
hearing is
And-
while you and David and a couple others were, while I was trying to retrieve tools that y'all were asking for, and then while you and David were cleaning mud, taking calipers off, taking everything apart, where was Sylvia during this whole time?
He was
sitting in my
the
car
Jeep
pouting.
crying.
I was not crying. I was pouting a lot.
Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
should've
so
been-
glad
we
that
didn't need any
I
help
grew
or
up as a
anything. It's-
mechanic's daughter.
No big deal.
I was pouting, and I was pouting for sure. Like,
He could have been down there helping me get people up the freaking rocks and off the trees.
I was
Or
pouting.
helping me gather tools or clean out the
I was
mud.
pouting. I was traumatized. I'm pouting.
Oh, it was
And just
it was funny, but not funny at the same time. Because as soon as we heard the ping, me and Scotty ran over, and then Silly's like, "I'm sorry, Dustin. I'm sorry. I'm
I was
sorry."
gonna get beat. And he goes,
Yes.
"Well, there's an axle," and I'm like, "Maybe not."
Or so.
Yeah.
All Dustin saw is dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs.
That's all Jeeps are. It's
Yeah.
dollar. That's all they are.
Okay,
That's
so I don't really
100%
care
all they
about
are.
that. What I was most concerned about was that I wasn't gonna be able to drive out, and that's what was gonna get me in trouble. So as long as I can drive home, I feel like it's not that bad. But
As long
you
as you
guys
can
are
still
making it,
attach the hub to the axle, you
yeah,
can
so that
drive.
was fine. Yeah, so I didn't know that. I didn't think I'd be able to drive out. And then Scotty was like, "No, it's just what happened to me." I was like, "Okay, I can deal with that once you get me out of right here." And then those two guys were so nice.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
those
they're
two
so
guys were
drunk.
awesome.
I was like, "Please don't let them touch anything," because they've been slamming those. What were those? What were those things that they
Michelob
were drinking?
Ultras.
Nicola. Yeah, I was like, "Oh no, he's slurring and."
I had to sneeze.
Mm-mm.
Bless me.
That's why his Toyota looks like
Bless
that. He's drinking and driving in the woods. I'm like, "You are so nice and you're so
He
helpful, but don't fucking touch anything of mine. Just
he broke an
stand back and
axle
hand him
earlier that
tools."
morning too.
Yeah.
I know. He
You're
said
just
that.
saying.
He said that that's what they do. They just kind of go out and recover people all day long because he lives right there and he's bored.
Yeah, it was
It's
funny. He
crazy,
told
actually.
Driving through
was
the
it Brian or Jeremy when those guys walked up after we got through that first mud hole and told them and said, "Do y'all not realize what you're about to get into?"
Like, no, we've been honest.
Yes, you do.
It's not really that bad. Just it was stupid. I sent the picture I sent the video to Jennifer and I said, "I promise I was not being reckless
Jennifer.
that I'm aware of." Warner.
Oh.
She's like, "Oh, I heard you broke this." And I said, "Oh, you won't even believe how stupid it was." And then she said, "You weren't even doing nothing." I know.
It
That's what
was
she's gonna say
just
since I have a
haven't see that's one reason why I try without lockers first.
I didn't even know
Because
my locker was on because I went to turn my locker on.
yeah, your lockers were on as you were sliding, and then of course with the
Yeah.
wheel speed, and then the sudden stop is what.
Yeah.
If you didn't have your lockers on, I don't think it would have broke the U joint, because
Yeah,
then that
yeah.
wheel would have slipped.
Mhm.
Like I told Dustin, back to no lockers or rear only. I ain't using my front one ever again. Screw that.
Yep, I don't use mine unless I
Ash,
absolutely
just
have
so you
to,
know
and then
that,
y'all fuss.
Ashley,
Then y'all
don't
fuss
use
at
your
me for not
lockers.
using my lockers.
Your rear one. I don't know why you don't ever use your rear one.
I do.
How did we blackslide to this conversation off of
I have no
Ashley?
idea.
I'm not
That's
really
that's
sure.
what that's
That's
Like
what
here it
happens.
is.
that's what
That's
we
what
do.
happens.
Yeah.
I'm
what
living
happens.
vicariously,
Yeah.
guys.
That-
I'm all
that's
crawler.
that's why the
Just
podcast
think about how much
last.
money you're saving being a mall caller. It's
I know.
amazing.
I have a
Oh,
dog.
She can
goodness. At
use
least,
any locker she wants in the mall parking lot, and it ain't gonna do nothing.
but you know what, Ashley? You know what is so good about I have the best friends. We have the best group. No offense to other Jeepers, but I feel like wheeling Jeepers are even a higher class than regular Jeepers
Yeah.
because they all jumped out to help. I had freaking people in Louisville, well, and Thomas did too, offering to go find me an axle shaft, bring it to me,
Yeah.
or come get me with a trailer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I swear, guys, Dustin said I can drive this home. Like, it'll be okay. And then they put their necks out to get back up and get me out. And even Thomas, like his Jeep was in a situation dangerous to try to get up on a way that he shouldn't have been going to get in front of me
I don't
to
even
make
know
sure
if
that I
anybody
was
got
safer.
video of that or pictures of what we had to go through to get up on the other side.
I'll have to look
Unless
and see if I
Brian
did or
did.
not.
Unless Brian did, I don't
He
think
may
so.
have. I don't think he did because he was one of the ones trying to get
Oh
us
yeah, he
up.
was helping.
I don't
Yeah.
think anybody did. We literally had 2 anchor points trying to get us up that other side because I was like, they were like, try it now. And I was like, absolutely not. Do
Because the
not
problem is
do
the way
that.
you were off camber on the driver's side, and as you were trying to climb, it was just sliding into a
Pushing
hole.
you. I know.
And
Well,
to the
that's what I was
point of,
telling you.
Of roll. I was
Even
like,
when I was trying to
"Oh,
get up
not."
there, and when I was telling you is that I felt I was fine, except it was trying to typewriter me this way, and I didn't want to go this way. So that was even whenever I had you come up and watch from the beginning. And I don't know if I just didn't get on it right, or if that's just
it
how
was
dug
just
out the bottom was.
from November. It's completely different
Yeah,
when we did it
you
in
should have
November.
known.
It was just
Well, it was
dug
muddy
out
and
and
wet.
soaking wet.
Yeah.
November, 100% dry. It was the driest it's ever been in a
It
long
just
It
had
time.
was
leaves.
covered
I
in
feel like it was
leaves,
just
but I
leaves.
Cut
mean,
it out.
yeah,
Once you got rid of the leaves, it
it
was
was
fine.
way more dug out on that right side though than it
It
was.
was.
That's what I told
November.
him. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get undercut under it, because then I really didn't want to flip over, which I guess is better, because I guess I'd rather break an axle than flop.
Yeah.
So I guess it's actually better. But then I was concerned you were going to flop. And then Michael, buddy, we got to get you a winch like yesterday,
Mhm.
because that sucks too, because you had to get up and get
Yeah, he
him
was the
over
only one
his,
without a winch.
because
But
I was the one that was supposed to be able to help him up, but I couldn't because
Yeah.
I was broken. So then we had to get your big butt up there and turn
well,
around.
and then talking about the great friends we have, she's when as soon as we got back to the RV park, we parked and then we ate dinner. Thanks, Mark and Jen, for the great dinner that we
it
put
was great.
together, but that y'all
I
had
love
together for
them.
us. And
They are
they're amazing.
so amazing. Their group
They-
is amazing.
Apparently, they love us too. So we don't know why, but they love us. We love
We
you
keep
too.
getting invited, so it's fine. Except I
That's
was
awesome. We
antisocial.
love them.
I was like,
But
I was kind of antisocial all weekend. I was trying, but I kept getting stuck in these big water holes, and then I got exhausted, and I shut down.
and then one thing led to another. Yeah. But yeah, so as soon as we got back to camp, we're
My
trying to figure out how
my
to get
people meter was down.
how to get my
Social
old
battery.
drive shaft back, because so about what 3 or so weeks ago, I changed out my drive shaft with one that Scotty had for a Gladiator. So then we left my old one at Rich's. We were planning on fixing it up for if any
Which
reason
thankfully, because
we
that was
messed
45
up.
minutes closer.
Yeah, which if we had messed up or anything, we would have it there. We were planning on cleaning it up, fixing it, putting it back together, so to have it fresh for if anybody needed one later in a Gladiator. And just so happened I had to use it.
It was you.
So
The man that brought it.
Rich and Nikki were at a Jeep show, and I called them up and told them what
And
happened.
Baby Weddle, I think.
Yeah, I think Michael and Baby
Well,
Weddle was there.
Yeah.
And so Rich went back home because it's missing the center boot. He cleaned everything up, put as much grease in it as he could so that it would slide in and out. And
Wait, do that again. What was that,
No.
Thomas?
slide in and out. So the shaft would move. And
In the shaft
so-
hole.
You have to.
The shaft
The,
hole.
the shaft hole would slide
No
back
shaft
and
hole.
forth.
No hot toing on that.
So then
no.
So he got that all cleaned
I'm
up
glad
and
he
ready
is
to
in
go.
bed.
And then after dinner, we decided to go ahead and take it out. So they took the bit drive shaft out. We took it out that night, and then Amanda picked it up from Rich and Nikki when she came
They
out
drove
that
it.
night. So it was 11 o'clock when she got in that night on Saturday night, and then we
And
we
it
put
was
in.
cold.
And it was like 40 degrees.
The first Friday night, it was hot as balls. And we had to turn on the air conditioner in the garage, in the camper, and we were all thankfully the air conditioner works well, and we got cooled down. Yeah, freaking Saturday, we had to turn on damn heat,
Yeah.
and it was cold. And then we ran. And then, guys, just so you're aware, if your wife says, "Hey, honey, we've used the propane like the last 3 weekends. Do you think that we need to fill it up?" And he says,
Yes.
"No, we have plenty."
Yes.
He's a liar, because at
Dude,
3 a.m. we ran out of
It
propane.
was
It was
75
cold.
degrees outside. Why would we need to turn the heat on?
When it drops below 50 degrees
Yeah.
the next night.
Yeah, and
Well,
Thomas, just so everybody
Who
knows,
even looks
Thomas
at
is
the
cold.
weather?
Yeah, Thomas is cold all the time. Stacey and I are burning up, and we want the air conditioner on, and Thomas is like, no. And shut up, Thomas, put some clothes on. So then that next morning when it was freezing, and I woke up and I thought, oh God, I don't even want to go out there because Thomas is probably going to be grumpy, all cold. He had no idea it was even cold.
I had a good, nice, warm blanket.
His blanket was so warm that he like stuck his arm out. He's like, oh, it is cold out there. But yes, your amazing friends laid on
Yes.
the dirt in the cold.
At
Oh,
11 o'clock at night. It didn't take us but maybe 20 minutes to put it in.
yeah.
So we were cleaned up, finished, ready to go ready to go lay down at 11:30 or by
Yeah.
11:30. So,
That's
Because we had to get up at
good
6
friends.
something.
mhm.
We literally have the best friends. They're so great to us. But even so, like, not so much this time, but last time that we were on, I feel like anytime we go on a ride, if someone breaks, like everybody jumps in. Like Wheats, that Tim last year, his poor full hydro steering broke twice.
Twice.
And then Copperhead, Joey's, did he drop a huge one or did he do the same thing I did?
He broke his CV axle.
Yeah, so that. So all, and everybody just kind of stops what they're doing. And I felt guilty the whole time. And now I know how these people feel whenever their stuff breaks and everybody's day kind of ends or goes around it. And felt horrible, but they do not make you feel bad
No.
about being broke. They're like, it's just what happens and goes. But especially because I was leading, I felt even worse because I'm like, well, that's just great because now it's literally over for everybody. So
But what I said was like we were first in line pretty much, like the second or third one up the hill, and then I started working on it, and I was finished before we even got the last person up Casey's climb. So even
we
still,
probably would have been
we
done
would have been there
anyway.
the same amount of time anyway,
Mhm.
doing it.
Yeah.
So, it's what it
Except
is.
they wouldn't have had to wait for like Thomas to winch up that weird spot because I would have been out of the spot he wanted to go. So
Yeah.
that caused some time too. It's
Yeah, because I would
fine.
have gone to the
I
left side.
think if we would have had you, Thomas, Dustin, Scotty, and all of y'all's eyes down there, I'm trying to say this very meticulously, maybe it wouldn't have took as long, if I'm saying that.
I don't know. Thomas got up before I did.
No, she means after we were already at the top.
When y'all were already,
When we
when
were
y'all
working
were
on it.
all up there focusing up
Oh,
there.
okay. Because the three of the people who mainly were spotting.
Yes. So like
Yeah, I
John,
probably should have came down.
literally,
Wow.
y'all had everybody was focused on y'all's when we were, instead of a few of y'all focused on that, and we were the ones that this was our ride, and our whole group was up there except for me. And
I kept running back and forth because as soon as I started running down, I'd hear David's like, "Hey, we need this," and then I'd turn around and run back up the hill.
yeah, and I made Thomas
Learning experience.
come down.
Yes.
When John was backing off the side of the mountain and they stopped him, and I'm like, no, like, Thomas, get over here, because his back tire was like, because
hanging. But they
I should have came down because I couldn't do nothing.
Scotty,
I couldn't do nothing at the top anyway, so I should have came down.
Yeah.
So
it's cool though that they actually
smacked
did
me, so I would have
step up
popped out
and
of my
take over
sad
to
craziness.
help.
Could have popped me in my mouth, got me out of it.
They were
Get your butt
fully
down here, we need you.
capable, but when it comes to the gladiators, very few people know how to do that.
Yeah.
And some people like Brian are really comfortable with Thomas spotting, but not everybody.
Right.
And he'll listen to Thomas, he'll listen to you, he'll listen, even when I was.
Oh no, I get it, because I have
y'all-
certain people that I trust and certain people that I'm like, I know you think you know what you're doing, and you very well might, but I only trust a certain handful of people, and they were at the top.
Right before that, when y'all all deserted me and Brian, and I was like, no, dude, like, I took a picture and I took it and I'm like, look, I need you to move over here. I need you here, but you are not getting through where you're at. And he was like, oh, gotcha, I understand. And he
You're like,
right
no.
climbed up. So, and he did fine. He's like, thank you. You got me up that. Great job. And
Brian's still from some of the talks that I've had with him, he's great. But he's still learning also. So
we're all still learning. Yeah.
We're constantly learning for sure. But yeah, of course, we always at the end of the day don't want to break anything. And then after you see a bent drive shaft, you see a U joint busted, It kind of plays with you when you're the one still
It
trying to
messes with
get
your
that
head. I
same-
literally pretty much not shut down, but I was just like, well, this freaking sucks. I was more in my head about I'd ruined everybody's day.
No, you didn't.
But next
just-
time,
I
You
know,
just
but
messed
in
up
my
your
head,
day.
I was
You
in it.
messed up your
Yeah,
day.
but in my head, I was. Well, I could have lived
Because it
back
happens.
in.
It happens.
I know, but again, I guess Tanya was telling me that happened to them at S'more. She broke in the first 5 or 10 minutes on a trail,
Yeah. And then
and the
now
first
it's
day there.
and now the rest of the time on the trail is recovery.
Right.
Yeah, so this was definitely a good learning experience for all of us.
Yeah.
Where Stacy
Other
and I
than that, I mean, I
talked
think
about some other
everything went
stuff too that
really
we're
well. So yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that went well. There's some other stuff that we basically learned that we could either do better or improve. But there's definitely some things that Stacy and I have discussed on what we're going to do.
we don't all
with
leave Stacy
carbon
high and
before we
dry
go to
with
S'more.
people she doesn't
So.
know to try to spot other people. We did find that out.
You knew John and Brian and Michael.
John was not up there.
Yeah.
Brian was up there videoing, but
we were
John
all in your
was
vicinity,
spot.
Stacy.
We were all friends at that point. 3 hours, 4 hours later, we were all besties.
Yeah, no, what? No, it wasn't that. It was y'all were at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
I thought Scotty went back down there to
You
help
should have
guys,
radioed.
too.
Scotty, yeah, he kept going back and forth.
Trying to go back
like
and
I was.
forth.
He was trying to go
David
back and
was-
forth like I was going back and forth.
David was trying to go back and forth.
Because it's like we got to get the rest of the group up, but we still
Dan
want to
was
try to help
down
Dustin
there.
get
Yeah.
things taken apart. And
I
it's
had it
just kind of.
covered.
I know you did, but you know what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. You had it covered. You were doing what needed to be done.
And the rest of us should have went down and then get everybody up, and then whatever else needs to be cleaned up or either taken
Like
apart.
I could have sent Dominic up there and said, Dominic, get whatever tools, or David.
Oh yeah, that would have been a good idea.
David
Yeah.
got whatever tools out of Thomas's, and everybody knows where they're at, and everybody else. We didn't need 4 and 5 people up there that normally are our spotters. That's what I'm saying. Yes, we all want to be up there and stop life on what's going down there, but we still had to get all the people up there.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll always keep learning. Anybody who thinks that they do everything perfect and have nothing to learn, I wouldn't want to follow them anywhere.
No, everybody still had a great time from what I could tell.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is that we pick ourselves apart, and I do it constantly. And like even you guys saying you didn't run, I just ruined everybody's time.
No, absolutely not.
So other times people are like, "We're having a great time." Like, okay, well, sure, I'm glad that dent isn't ruining your life right now.
Well, yeah, because luckily, Brian has a
When I
plastic
heard
bumper.
Brian
He slid and hit that tree.
But then he hit the other side on Little Widowmaker.
I know.
And
there's, but
and
there's
then we
certain
were a
people
good
who
hour.
don't care about any damage, like Scotty. Scotty's like, I don't care. But then there's people who do care about body damage, and those, like, I didn't want Michael to get any body damage, like 0.
He made me take a picture of his big old scratch. So
I know.
He was fine.
He did that one. That wasn't because we sent him up the wrong way.
Well, and then Brian called me. We were already an hour out. I had already left, and we were almost an hour away from the park. And
This
Brian
is another one,
calls me and
Ashley, on
said,
how great people are.
He's like, I'm having a really bad vibration. I was like, did you check this? Did you check this? He's like, yeah, all the components look fine. Drive shaft looks fine. I was like, more than likely it's mud. Pull over, try and get as much of the mud out of the tire and rim as possible, and then call me back. And he's like, yep, that did it. So I was like, just let me know, because if we need to, we'll turn around and come back.
And he
we'll come
meant
back and help you out and whatever we need to
sucks,
do.
But you mean it. We're going to come back.
Yeah,
we will come back for you. We won't leave anybody behind.
I would have came with you. I would have had Dustin and
even though
Scotty
him and Dan decided to stay, and Little Widowmaker with Daniel and I can't remember her name.
Tanya.
And so they went and all wheeled Little Widowmaker. They finished up, and then Brian's like, I'm getting a really bad vibration. It's like, I've already checked.
That's funny.
everything.
Daniel actually just sent me a friend request.
He did. Yeah, I got one too. So, but yeah.
That's awesome. He must have had his ears burning.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah,
we're getting close to an hour and a half.
Yep, I think we're about done. So anything else anybody needs to? We got Ashley. We got you all squared away. The Flex and 5-0. We're gonna post that. Hey, make sure to send us some pictures of Drogon, Sugar. Maybe if you have any pictures from the event last time, we'll share that
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get them to
on
you.
there.
Yeah, we're looking forward to
And then-
the event for sure.
Yeah. So come out
Yeah.
and see us.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Get
be
your
fun.
picture of your logo or anything, then we can maybe use part of that for the cover photo or something like that too.
Yeah.
Whatever you.
Okay,
Yeah,
fun.
you
Yeah.
could
Send it
actually
to
you could probably
Dustin.
use the flyer as the cover.
Oh yeah.
Use the flyer
Yeah.
as the cover.
Just send
And
it
then
to.
picture of their
Are you
Jeep.
friends with Dustin?
A picture of
on
their two
Facebook?
Jeeps.
I
Yeah.
think so.
So send it to Dustin in the next day or two. He'll probably start working on it tomorrow night or Wednesday morning. He'll be
If you
my
want
guest.
to, if you want to send me the websites and all that stuff, then I'll link them in the description of the video as well.
Yep. I can do that. I'll get all that to you for sure.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
next event
right.
after Flexing for 5-0 is the Barricade Voodoo event. They go topless. Look for that flyer. Then we have Vet Built Garage on Sunday, the following day.
Yep.
And then we'll leave for S'more the weekend after.
Yep. And all of those events, every one of those events are on the WKN events
Yep.
page, Facebook. So they're all on there.
Love to see y'all there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Same
All right.
time,
Peak
same place
season.
next week. Like and subscribe. See
Later.
you all. Thanks, Ashley.
Bye.
Thank you.